Hi, everyone. So, welcome to Van Go For It. Thank you, Tina. An original Tina is here, a Rooted Health Hub featured artist who is going to help us explore abstract art today, oil painting. And then myself, Tiffany Taylor, founder of Rooted Health Hub. Tina, thank you again for hosting Van Go For It on our Sundays is for Art. And we're going to have a couple people pop in and join us. And so, once they're here, we'll admit them into the class and welcome them. But until then, go ahead and let's get started.
All right. Well, obviously, thank you again for letting me do this. This is amazing. And having you to help facilitate any kind of painting that makes it accessible for pretty much anybody. Uh, that's wonderful. And I like to share information that I've learned. So I'm happy to do it. So, in continuation of the last class that we had working on abstract painting, I said we were going to work with tape this time. And the purpose of that is, to continue to make the painting interesting, continue to work it because um, I feel like if you're going to make something and make a piece of art, you get to decide at which point it's ready and done. And for me, if you don't continue to add to it, it really doesn't have that much depth to it as far as meaning, and of course hitting all the aspects of a painting. So, which we went over last week as well. If you'd like, I can go back over that. But what I've done since that class is I've went in with a little bit of a pour with the Galkid, and I used the colors Viridian and Emerald Green, and I mixed those greens together with the Galkid that had been sitting, so it was a little bit more viscous. Um, and then I poured it on the canvas and I kept turning it and turning it. And then I took my rag and sort of blotted some of it away. So what's happened in the process, of course, is some dripping. And then all this paint on here that I laid down that's raised has actually caught the color, that green. And so I left it in certain places where I thought it would be the most interesting. And it, whenever you put, reds and greens together, because they're at opposite ends of the color wheel, it actually, they work well together if you get them to where they're not mixing. If you mix them, then it can become muddy. But I like it. I like to let the oil paint sit for a little bit. I think it sat for maybe a day or two, and then I went in with the Galkid and the green. And because that's so wet, you're able to manipulate the painting without actually moving a lot of what you've already got on there, because it's sat for about a day or two to dry. So um oil paint does take a minute for it to dry, especially if it's thicker. If you're going to use your um odorless mineral spirits or your Galkid, which is this right here, as a medium to thin it out and put it down, then it doesn't take as long to dry. And you can set it. I like to set the painting in the sun as long as it's not dripping outside on the porch, because that helps to dry it as well. Obviously, the warmer it is, the quicker it's going to dry. With it being wintertime, that's hard to come by. So, without, of course, making your entire apartment smell like oil paint. But for today, I've already started and I laid some tape down. And when you lay tape on top of an oil painting that's still a little wet, you just want to go in and make sure that it's actually going to serve its purpose, which is to give a defined line. And the way that you do that, you just want to make sure it sticks on the edges. Like it doesn't, you don't have to press it down onto your painting. You just want the edges to stick so that you do get those defined lines, which is the purpose of using the tape. And if your painting is still a little wet, it's okay. Um, just lay it down on top of it and get it to it as best you can, because we're going to use pretty thick paint in this process on parts of it. And then we can also use the Gal Kit to layer darkness, which adds to depth, but it won't be super runny. It'll be like just runny enough to make a thin layer. Um, so yeah, what I did to determine where I wanted the tape, and this is a very technical process. And I'm kidding, obviously. But just get you some tape, and you want to look at your painting and kind of see where you want to start. And what I literally did was like this. I pulled out a big strip, and I kind of just I felt for it, right? I felt like, and then I landed. And where I landed, I just ripped it and stuck it. And I did that. I did that in different lengths of the tape. And then it all, you know what else helps is having different sizes of tape. So if you see here, these two different sizes, because what's going to happen is where you lay your tape is going to cover up your painting, and it's not going to get touched by whatever paint you're laying down over top of that. So it's not going to get touched. And so for me, what that does is how I remember it is what I lay down to darken it, where the tape is going to be brighter. And so I have to mentally make myself remember that. Otherwise, I'm going to get it twisted just because I'm dyslexic, probably. But I went in with two different sizes of tape here and made some just straight lines because I wanted to add something similar to this, which is something I've already worked. And I'll bring this closer so you can see. But right here, this yellow. So that's paint that I added on using tape. And all I did was make sure that when I put the paint down, it's to appear as if it is behind this pink little check mark. And so the purpose of using tape is to add shape and interest into your painting like that. So once you get your tape on, let me know, and I'll show you a couple different methods of filling it in to make it darker. And then of course adding the pop of color to add interest. That's how you do it. And sometimes what I like to do is you take the tape and make a stencil, then you can use that stencil to add little like shards of lines in there. Of course, my tape is Harold. So
Oh, like a design, like you're making a design with your tape. Oh, okay, gotcha. Tracking.
yeah. So it's just making a stencil of like just one really long like rectangle. And then you take that and you lay it on your painting as a stencil, and you just add those little tidbits of color in there. And that's a really fun way to add different shapes because you can do a triangle, you can do a square. You can have all this really pretty, flowing, interesting stuff in the back, and then all this geometric stuff on top of it. I mean, that would be super cool, kind of like Asteroidy, the game Asteroid. I love that game. That's what that would remind me of. But yeah, we can definitely make little stencils like that and use them. And if you'd like to see more of that, I'm happy to show you. Oh, sorry. Jared needs the link to get in. It should be in his email.
I'm just sweating to make this stencil over here. Okay, let me see if I can. Um, let's get that. I can. Oh man, my stencil's not flat. All right, let's see.
Yeah. So
Would you
they
like
need the link
me
to get
to?
in.
You want me to share it with him, or did you already share it, Tina? Sorry.
If you can share the Zoom link to him and to Debbie, I think Debbie said she already booked too, but the link in their email didn't work. So they need the link to get into the class. Mm.
All right, everyone should be linked up.
All right. All right. Let me know when you get your tape on and you're good with it.
Oh. Tape is on, which I will say is, whew, that was hard. Like, it's fun, but it's harder because there's not any distinct like lines right now in my painting. So it's like you want to just line the tape up and line it up with a line that you already have,
Mm.
but I don't have any lines. So I
Yeah,
just,
it's a lot of eyeballing and
yeah,
just trying to get a straight edge in there. So
I think I did it. I think I did it.
I think it'll be great. So I know you added yellow to your painting already and it looks great. Did you have a different color that you wanted to add on top of that to help bring things forward or to make the shapes stand out?
Yeah, so I was gonna ask you about that because right now I have some oranges and yellows and pinks and purples and white. So I would like to put like black, but I'm not sure if like black on top, but I know that's kind of risky business because it could just end up looking.
Right.
I know
Well,
I know I want black at some point on this painting. I just don't know if this is the moment to do that or if I should pick a different color.
if you're wanting to put black on like in bulk to make it stand out, you can definitely do that, or you can layer it on like I've done here. You can see that this is darker than this.
Yeah.
So this is a layer of black that I made out of burnt umber and phthalo blue,
Okay.
or ultramarine. But anyways, you mix those two together to get black, and you layer it on thin with the Galkid, and it adds shade to it, so it makes everything in that space darker.
So I was like, am I painting directly on top of the tape or just at the line? Of like, where am I going to be putting this paint, this next color that I choose?
So if you're gonna choose the next color, you're gonna make little lines like this right here. Then you're just gonna go over top of that right there, right
Oh, gotcha, gotcha.
coming
Okay,
through.
gotcha. So it's like the in between the tape, like where that line. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha. All right. Okay.
yeah. Everything under the tape won't get touched by this painting that we're adding
So it's
onto
like
it.
little. Okay. All right. I have one more piece of tape I have to put on, and then I'm ready to go. And then I think I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna go in with a blue.
Okay.
I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna choose blue. And I think I want to actually go. I think I'm gonna mix a silver and a blue. What is this thing called? Yeah, silver and what is this called? Cerulean. Silver and cerulean together, and like, because that will lighten it up a little bit, right?
Yeah, it'll make it if you add silver to it, depending on if it's metallic or if it's opaque, it'll make it a little lighter. If you wanted to like mix just a smidge of white into it, like in one section, and see if that's the look that you're going for. But if you're wanting
Yeah,
it to
I
be,
was thinking of doing like, I have my little palette here, and I was thinking of maybe doing some in between the tape with just the cerulean, and then some with a lighter color, like just different versions of the same blue.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, let's see what happens. Ooh,
Let's see.
okay. This one's gonna be for the white, and then this one is gonna be for silver. Okay, right. Oh, I think I need to add a piece of tape. Hold on a second. I see a tape opportunity.
All right then. I like that paper tune. Gonna keep some different. So I'm gonna do blue, and we're gonna add that thick. Let's see, are they still having trouble?
Let me see. Let me go back to my email and see what they're doing.
I don't know what's going on with them trying to get in cards. Yeah, you can definitely use different hues of the same color, make it a little bit monochromatic, adding those shapes. And what you can do is just lay it on thick and then pull that tape off and it'll dry. You don't have to leave the tape on. I'm going to do a little bit of blue too. I kind of want it a little brighter than that. And then I'm going to go in with the black, but I'm going to do a thin layer with the black using the Gogh kit so that you can see the layering. And I'll take my time mixing this so that we can get them on the call. And this is, I'm mixing cerulean with, yeah, phthalo blue and smidge of titanium white. I make happy little onions. And this will be interesting. I'm going to go in with all, see, I've made 4 different things of that. I'm going to go with all of them. Lay it. Putting it in the space that I need it. This one. And go in this one. What?
All right. Hopefully that's third time's a charm. It. Okay. Hopefully they got it.
Just told Jared that you sent it again. Now I've still got some yellow paint on my canvas from where I did that yellow line, so I think I'm gonna add another one over here. I want to put a little bit of orange in it. That's like, I just want it to be bright and stand out. Well, I do. Anyway. Oh yeah, it's bright. uh, and then maybe I'm gonna do this color.
All right. Hope people got it. So good. Okay. Note for self. We'll see if I can have maybe there's a setting too where I can have it email the link after booking like the day before, the day of, or something like that too.
Yeah.
Maybe do that because that would be helpful. don't see anybody asking to come in though. I keep checking.
So strange. So strange. So I've done blue and I mixed a little bit of lemon yellow with the Viridian. I'm sorry, vermilion. Viridian. And then I just mixed my phthalo green with the cerulean and phthalo blue. I'm just putting color.
just painting this color here. Just
I'm just mixing color.
this blue. I like this blue color. This is pretty.
And then go over top of that with the blue and let's streak it on through. When I pull that tape up, it'll leave everything that's on top right there.
So will we pull the tape up today, or is that like in a couple days when it's dry?
That's up to your discretion. It depends on what you're doing. I'm gonna leave mine for a little bit because I'm gonna also show you how to use the Gogh kit with black to darken the bigger sections here.
Okay.
Because I've already done one layer of it, but I wanted to have a second layer before I pulled the tape.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm gonna show you how to do that. And what I've done already is put the lamp black paint that color usually comes in a kit that you get from like Michael's,
Yeah.
with the pre-made black in it. But
Oh,
we
all
can
right.
go
I'm
over how to do
admitting
that.
Jared. Jared got it. Okay.
Awesome.
Welcome, Jared. Welcome. Glad you're here.
Yay.
Right. Sorry about that, Jared. I'm glad we finally got the link to you.
I think now we just got to get it to Debbie. Or he's gonna send it to her. Or did you already send that to her?
I sent it to her through email, but I'm not sure if she's checking her email right now. That's it.
All right, how you feeling about adding the color on your tape?
I'm digging it. I'm digging it. I'm digging it because as of right now, I mean, I'm intentionally putting my tape in spaces I think I'm gonna like the shape, but since it's the first time I've done it, I'm not really sure what I'm gonna find whenever I lift the tape. You know what I mean? It's like I think I'm creating a shape, but I'm not sure if I am or not. Like, but it's fun. And I like this whole like I've got 3 different shades of blue that aren't too different from one another, but there is like a subtle difference that I'm liking.
Nice.
So I like that, but I definitely didn't press my tape down enough in some places. So I'm having to go back and do that.
Yeah, you have to work it a little bit. Hey,
I
Jared.
love, I love your apron, Jared. I love it. It's like cool apron. Makes it official.
You're on mute. You can unmute.
It's usually in the bottom left, but if you're on your phone, it might be different.
It's still the bottom left on my phone.
There we go. Sorry about that.
Welcome. Sorry about the link.
Hey, no worries. I sent that same link to my mom too. Would that same link work for her too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Cool, cool, cool. So I got some catching ups to do. That's why I got acrylic so it'll dry quicker than you guys.
Oh, good.
Yep, yep.
If you wanted to go over the acrylic with the oil, you can totally do that too.
What?
I mean,
Way.
She's out of control, Jared. She's out of control.
No. Just taking out of roofs. Let's see. How about these two colors together? Is that good to start with?
yeah, go for it.
I'm going to. Tell me how to live my life.
What if she said no, put those down right now?
Yes. How dare you?
Do something else.
Yeah.
Well, I will say yeah, I'm still nervous I'm gonna just get like mud brown because I like this color, this color, this color. And I'm like, oh yeah, all
Yeah.
those colors together are dirt.
Oh yeah, all these colors together are dirt. So what are you're doing your mark making, it looks like. That's awesome.
Trying to, but it must be like it's Walmart acrylic, so I don't know. Maybe that's why.
Well, if you add water to it and make it a little bit more liquidy,
All
it'll
right.
be
So just
easier.
dip my brush in the water, put it in the paint. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
These brushes are brand new too, so it's like writing with a pencil.
Oh, good. Just keep adding water to make it a little bit more fluid.
Right.
Yeah, I've gone rogue. I have now blending my different colors of blues into one more shade of blue.
Hey, awesome. Coming up with new colors.
You work too. All right, so what we've done already, Jared, I know you're catching up with your mark making. Just ask questions as you're going along with that. She's laid her tape down and we've laid down some thick paint, I believe. I'm gonna go in now. I'm gonna go in now with the layering with the Galkit and the lamp black. And you want to use a soft bristle brush so there's fewer lines. Sometimes a makeup brush works really good,
Interesting.
or anything soft. Like these are pretty soft, so we'll use that actually. I'm gonna get in the mineral spirits, get the brush wet, and I actually kind of like to mix the mineral spirits with the Galkit and the paint because it just helps make it a little bit thinner. Because when you're going in to make layers, to add depth, you don't want to just cover it up completely. You want to lightly go over it so you can still see what's painted underneath to come through. So what I do with that, because the tape is just laid on top, right? It's not like super stuck to that.
Yeah.
It just a light layer like that. And you
Okay.
can do this. You can do this with your just your mineral spirits, but I would go easy on it just because it's meant to continue to thin the paint and to pull up, and all you're trying to do here is layer. Trying to add a layer of darkness to this. So if you see what it's doing, because you can still see everything that I've painted underneath it come
Yeah.
through.
Wait, you're using lamp black and mineral spirits together?
Yeah, and
So
a little bit of
that would be
Galkit.
like using water for me, right? If I was using
Yeah,
acrylic. Okay.
yeah. And acrylic is a little bit more sensitive because um, the water is going to take up the pigment, whereas with the Galkid and the mineral spirits, it doesn't necessarily take up the pigment; it just thins it.
Gotcha.
But
Oh. All
and
right.
I'm gonna mess this up on purpose so you guys can see. If I put too much, you can see
I'm
how
gonna
dark it
mess
is in
this.
the corner. I put too much.
Okay, gotcha.
I can't even
Just
watch
go, just go in there and blot it.
it.
Is that a Terpsy cloth or just a dry cloth?
It's an old T-shirt cut up.
Right. Is it Terpsy or is it just dry?
It's just dry.
Okay.
I didn't understand what Terpsy was there for a second.
All right. It's probably not the
Um,
official terminology.
Okay, I didn't, I'm going, instead of black, I'm using this blue and I don't know what it's called.
you can
They
definitely use a different color. Phthalo blue.
Sure, Cyan blue, it sounds very,
Yeah, we just say phthalo blue.
let's do it, Phthalo it is. Okay, it's happening. Happening.
Do it.
Ooh.
And you can do that with any color on any part of the painting, but the purpose is to add a thin layer, let it
Okay.
dry, and then you add shade to your painting that way.
Okay, I'm doing it.
Is it be shady?
Any moment. Any
Not
moment.
saying
What's happening?
Gotcha. All right.
Ooh, okay.
And I'm gonna go ahead and take my tape off.
The
You can see.
reveal.
You can
That's
see
cool.
what happens when you do that. And if you notice, very little of the painting that I've already got down came up. So
Interesting.
accept the change. Go with the flow.
Accepted.
Let the painting go.
Yes.
All right. Okay. All right. I just have like one little section and then I'll be ready to tape. Untape. All right. Let's see.
Awesome.
Okay. Okay. I got it. This paintbrush is Dondrous. It's in a Dondrous spot. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I feel like I'm gonna pass out these mineral spirits. I really gotta get the odorless thing going on. Okay.
Yeah. Crack a window.
Hey, if I pass out, just text Zach, all right? Be like, Tiffany just
Yep.
passed. All right. There you go. Okay. All right. You want to see the before? This is the before tape.
All right.
Oh, I gotta take a picture. I gotta take a picture. All right. There it is in all its glory. I'm documenting the process like this artist told me to do that I know. Okay. Here it goes. Ooh, I may have had some wet paint from the last episode.
Yep.
That's
Mine
it.
did too.
What do I do with this? Hold on. I am not prepared for this process. Wait a second. Now, where's the. God forbid I get paint somewhere. All right, here we go. All right. Now, where do I put that? Okay. Right here. Is this clean? That's
You set
clean.
it to the side so you can roll it up in a ball and toss it away.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
Be careful not to get oil paint all over yourself.
Woo. I have to say, I'm digging this technique so far.
Interesting. Did it add interest?
I'm digging it. It added some. Okay, hold on. Okay. Ooh, I tried a stencil shape too, so that's pretty cool. Definitely a shape I would not have been able to make. Well, maybe I would have. Let's not put myself down. But definitely a shape I would have struggled to make on my own had I not just used a stencil, like you said, a tape stencil.
Yep.
Thank you for that. I am digging this. All right, hold on. Let me get this.
It's fun to peel the tape off too. Yep.
That looks cool.
I like the blues.
Down here, and then if you turn it.
Oh my. Look at that right there. A little fun.
Yeah. Looking good. I love this smear. There's probably a better word for it, but this smear right here where it was the light color and then I did the darker blue with the Galkit over it, and it's like this cool smear color.
Awesome.
Come here.
The dark.
If you
Janky.
pull your tape and you have little blotches in your
Uh-huh.
painting, like on the line right here, that you don't necessarily want, you just dip your brush in your mineral spirits, like a thin brush, and you can go back through and literally like blend it in. And it's
Okay.
not that big of a deal when you have a big abstract painting like this, because it's just part of it at that point.
Let the painting live. It's just
Don't get too attached to much, pretty much is what I'm saying. And if you do that and you paint that way, then It just makes it a little bit more freeing, which I think is what most people would be looking for if they were going to be taking a class like this. There's not any set product you're going to come out with. It's what you determine you want. And then to see the layering, what that looks like. So this is like hot pink and red, and
Ooh.
then that dark layer over top of it. And it pushes it all back. So that's the purpose of going over it with like Gogh in layers, is you still want to see the art that's underneath it.
Yeah.
Ooh. Right. Ooh, I like it. So I just went over with my one that's diluted. I just went over some of the more textured where I had like the bubble wrap and I made like imprints and it was like ridges and all that. I went over and painted over it and now it's sucking up all the paint. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Don't be intimidated by my technical terms during this
Uh,
call.
I'm intimidated by your prowess more than the terms.
Okay.
Jared, did you have any questions about where you're at right now?
Not really. Just supposed to be making shapes, I think.
Yeah, using your alternate colors to go in and make different shapes. You
Yeah.
can use water to thin it and to make blend the paint, or to thin the paint as much as you need to make the shapes that much more different,
Okay.
because it's acrylic.
So they should be different shades of a different color. Not just a different color, but like different shades.
I mean, it definitely adds to it when you have different shades, but you can go in with just the one different color if you'd like.
Ah,
Not getting a whole big difference in shade. Mix some of this yellow with some of this other one.
Let's see
What's that, baby?
what you got working so far. Let's see it.
Oh, I haven't got very far at all, honey. How do I switch my camera?
You could always just pull your painting up in front if you can't. All right. Looks pretty good.
Pretty good.
Color choice. Color choice is really nice.
Oh, good.
And you can leave as much blank or negative space as you want with the white.
Yeah.
If you wanted to go in later with oil paint and layer over top of it, that'll help you add a little bit of depth to it.
Awesome.
I like the yellow ochre that you're using.
Nice.
Yellow
Which one's
ochre.
the ochre? Is that the browner one?
Yeah. All right. Well, I think I'm just gonna go in and add some brightness to these more round points here, instead of sticking with a straight line or geometric shape. Oops. Good. And I might go in with the neon acrylic paint that I have, because I bought some neon acrylic paint
ooh.
to put on a black canvas. I might outline some dark stuff with that, because that would be cool.
So that one, that green you have on there right now, that's the emerald or whatever. Okay.
Yeah,
That looks
that's
almost
viridian
neon.
and emerald green oil mixed with the Galkid.
Yeah.
And all I did was put it in a little cup, and I
Yeah.
mixed it with the palette knife. And then I laid the painting down and I poured it over top of it. And then just kind of moved it. And I took my old rag that I was using, the old cloth that I was using, and I just blotted it so that it soaked up a good portion of it, but it also left most of that in there, and it's layered on there now. So
That's cool.
but yeah, I might go in there with some neon acrylics since I have some. Things getting pretty neony. Neony. Neony.
Yeah.
Technical term again. But that way, because I like these dark spots that I've done, added that. But if I go in with the neon, then you're definitely going to see neony.
Is it a bad idea to add like thick textures on the alla prima or the first layer?
No, go for it.
All right.
Yeah, once you get your shapes on there and you're filling them in, you can use your palette knife and add the paint on thicker. Did you get a palette knife with that kit?
I've just bought a set of palette knives separately.
Oh, nice.
It came with one, but I wanted a variety.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. Yes, palette knives.
We like the palette
I've got
knife.
a passion for it. That's what this class needs to be called.
Yeah.
Palette knifing and
Van
other
Gogh for
skills.
palette knives. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
Exactly.
How you doing on yours, Tiffany?
I'm doing good. I'm trying to now use that same blue color to go back into some of the other shapes and textures that I have to like paint over them and see. I'm trying some of the little drip techniques by thinning out my paint that you taught me to see how that works with them. So,
If you wanted to add drips in certain points and like in the middle of the painting or something,
yeah.
you can get your mineral spirits and thin your paint and get it saturated on your brush, and then just roll that in that general spot. So like
Okay.
I've got this blue, I'm gonna add that blue drip here, and you just roll it and let it build up, and then it'll just start dripping.
Too shaky.
And you can also guide it. You can also guide the drip, to be honest with you. Just add a drip next to it or in
Ooh.
front of it, and it's like river to the ocean kind of thing it follows.
Yeah, it's cool to just add a drop and see it run down and like change the color of the paint below it where it ends. I mean, I've got a plastic drop cloth and paper towel, so it's like what it's like running down. I get nervous. I'm like, oh wait, it's like it's okay. If the paint falls off the canvas, it's gonna be or the drop, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
It'll be all right.
All right then.
We're gonna make it. It's gonna be cool. Oh, that's cool.
I'm not really getting a difference in shade as much as I'm trying to. So it's all
Add,
going to be kind of the same shade of the
if you want
shapes.
it darker, add like burnt umber. If you want it brighter, add a little bit of white.
Good.
Ooh, I got some good colors going on now.
Dun, dun, dun.
I get stuck on like one part of the painting and I forget the rest of it exists. And then I'm like, oh, well, what about paint on that part? Who knew that there was another part of this painting?
Yeah.
Now I have this awkward square in the bottom part of my painting and I don't like it. So now I'm going to have to come up with how many layers can you put on it?
I mean, the Mona Lisa is quite a bit of layers, so.
Yeah. All right. I think I just want to tape it off and come back to it another day, tape it off and paint over it. That's what I want to do.
You can
Just
totally do that. And
well,
if
but
you've got your mermaid painting still, you can still work on that one.
Yeah, it's hanging up there looking at me. Yeah, I still haven't found the perfect little stone I want to put in it because I do want to put like glue a little stone to it. I feel like once I find that stone, and I get a smaller palette knife, that's what I'm banking on for that one for sure. I know now that I have a couple more techniques, I'm actually excited to get back to that one too. I
Yeah,
don't
you
know,
can
I
totally
really,
work more than one painting. I mean, that's why I have so many sitting around.
I know, but I just need permission from you to do it before I'm allowed to do it. So that's like how my brain works. When you say, yeah, you could do that, then I'm like, oh yeah, sure, I'll do that.
Yes, you can work your other paintings and use the techniques you have now learned. Do it, do it.
I have permission now. I have permission. Oh,
All
goodness.
right.
Yay. Well, yeah, we are coming up to near the end of the class. I'll definitely reach out to Debbie and Paulette and, say we missed them and make sure that they know that they were missed and apologize for any technical difficulties that may have kept them from coming. So I'll definitely reach out to them.
Okay.
We have class next Sunday, and then the following one is the one that we're. Let me look at an actual calendar before I say something that's not true. Okay, so we will have class on the 21st, and then on the 28th we will not be having class, and then we'll resume the first Sunday in February. So we will be promoting for the 21st. And Tina, yeah, as always, the class will be up to you. So if you want us to have different canvas, a new canvas, work on what we have, like it'll be up to you what we do. I do need to get some new canvases because I'm fresh out, so that'll be fun shopping for me, different canvases.
Yep.
That'll be fun. And yeah, we'll keep promoting it and getting it out there. Jared, if you will share a picture of your painting at the end of the day, whenever you get to a point where you're like, this is my painting for the day,
Okay,
and we can use that in our class promotion, that would be fantastic.
perfect.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Tina, anything else you would like to say to us before we leave for the day?
No, just for, the next class, we can continue this one. And, if you guys want to jump to another one, we can. So just have a blank canvas if you do. If you don't, you can still work on the one that you're working on. Which is totally fine because I've got a few that I can work on too. So, but yeah, we'll reconvene then and, continue. And then if there's anything anybody wants to particularly, um, focus on or be shown again or touch base on again, we can do that.
Yeah, I mean, after this painting, I would like some extra time on this painting for sure. And I think after that, maybe in February, like just a palette knife extravaganza would be fun for me.
Yeah.
I would be, yeah, but I definitely like it takes a while for these to dry, so it's nice to have that time in between.
Yeah.
So I would like a chance to get to work on this one again because it's definitely got some room to grow for sure. So
Yeah. Put it in a room where you're going to have a lot of airflow or like a fan going somewhere where you're not going to die from the smell.
yeah.
Maybe your garage. I don't know if you have a garage or not, but it doesn't have to be outside, but if it's sunny, get it in the sun. That'll help dry it too.
Oh, I could just
Um,
towards the window. That's a good idea. Just
yeah.
sun actually hits it. Yeah, that makes sense. Thanks, Tina.
And that'll help the big stuff that you've got on that's thicker. That'll help that stuff dry a little quicker.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's it.
Thank you.
Well,
Yay. All
Thanks
right.
for jumping on, honey.
huh?
Have a
Thanks for
good
jumping
day.
on.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Send me that replay link.
Yeah.
Of course. Absolutely. All
All
right.
right.
Bye, guys.
See
Bye.
y'all.